Okay, welcome back to E-Managerial website. This is a vulnerability and method for vulnerability assessment. I wish to share with you how can we address and determine the IT vulnerability and threat. So I just share with you about three column. One column we address the type of asset like a hardware and software, something like that. And the second is a sample of vulnerability, and the last column is a sample of threat. For example, the number one, I just quote the few critical area because it's a lot. So the area that you always challenge with. For example, unprotected storage. What are the threat? The threat is shift of media or document. For example, lack of periodic replacement scheme. So the threat is destruction of equipment or media, something like that. Like uncontrolled copying. The threat is theft of media or document. For the hardware part, for example, no or insufficient software testing, the threat is abuse of rights. Well-known flaw in the software. Well-known flaw meaning the gap in the system, the gap in the operating system that we execute. So the threat is abuse of right. This is just for example only, like disposal or reuse or storage media without a proper eraser. The threat is abuse of right. Like complicated user interface. Complicated user interface, we focus on about the interface that let the user input the data or execute the transaction. So the threat is error in use or inconsistency in use. Lack of documentation, the threat is error in use. This is just for example only. Other example like a lack of backup copy, the threat is a software malfunction. Lack of effective chain control, the threat is a software malfunction. For the network, for example, the lack of proof of sending or receiving a message, the threat is denial of action. Like unprotected sensitive traffic, the threat is eavesdropping. Like a single point of failure, the threat is a failure of communication. This is we refer to the full HA or redundancy. Like a lack of identification and authentication of sender and receiver, the threat is a forging of rights. The next is insecure network architecture. The threat is remote spying. It's just for example on network area. Like personnel we refer to the staff. Like the vulnerability is absent of personnel, absent of the personnel, absent of the key person during the execution period or during the critical process. The threat is a break of personnel availability. So the successor plan we need to be in place and implement effectively. Like insufficient security training. If the training did not provide sufficiently, the result of threat is error in use. Like lack of monitoring mechanism, the threat is illegal processing of data. It's just for example only. And for the site, for example, location in the area susceptible to flood. So the threat is flood. Like inadequate or careless use of physical access control to building and room. So the threat is destruction of equipment or media. The next is administration or organization. The vulnerability of the administration is lack of formal procedure for user registration and deregistration. So the threat is abuse of rights. And next is a lack of formal process for the access right review. We refer to the supervision area. So the threat abuse of right. This is just for example only. It's many a lot. Lack of for report record in the administrator or operator log. The threat is abuse of rights. For example, lack of formal procedure for the ISMS documentation control. The threat is a corruption of data. Like a lack of contingency plan, the threat is equipment failure. And lack of information security responsibility in job description. So the threat is error in use. For example, this one is very important. Lack of also a formal policy on mobile computer usage. For example, like bring your own device policy, BYOD, unacceptable use policy and procedure. The threat is theft of equipment. Sometimes staff they bring their own device into the office. They start to copy or stealing the sensitive data or send to the cloud service, also send to the external email like their private email, Yahoo or Gmail. So the data loss prevention could not protect it because we don't have the proper structure or proper policy and procedure to protect the information asset from the organization. So the threat is a chief of equipment or chief of data relate to the data loss, data linkage. Other example like for this one, lack of software license management. Very important when we control the software license, we need to understand what is the risk, what is vulnerability can be exposed to the external factor. Sometimes the supervisor rely on the custodian process. They not regularly check and monitor the license floating like user request file license to apply the software or application update on the license expiry. So if we did not control well on the software license, so the threat is unauthorized use of software and legality issue. We refer to the compliance issue. This will lead to reputation damage. Sometimes we may go to the court and a lot of issue on this area. So be careful, right? Relate to the governance. The governance is for example, vulnerability of the governance and lack of governance structural. So the threat is a destruction of business owner goodwill. So we need to protect the interest from the stakeholder, from the share owner. The second is audit reviewer influence. This is a very important. Most of the organization, some internal audit department were not fully independent because some influence from CEO or from the GM, something like that. So the threat of this area will become the residual risk and increase the risk appetite. Risk appetite is a strategy that is set up by senior management or board of director. Because we need to control the risk appetite or risk exposure. For example, lack of service quality mechanism. So the threat will become the customer unsatisfactory or dispute relate to the customer experience. So the last one, lack of data governance framework. So the threat will be lead to breach of information system and data integrity. Okay, thank you for watching my video. This is just for example only on how can we use the method to map the vulnerability assessment. Okay, thank you. Please like and share this video.